So actually, it has been a minute since last I was here. So there have been very many developments, especially in the financial and economic sector, as we always do here. And let us just pick a random and talk about the latest developments that have been here and there. So recently there was a press release by the Nairobi Stock Exchange Board about what has been going on there. I do follow their website and all that happens there closely. So, Nairobi Stock Exchange, they have brought something that has really caught people unaware. Okay, people were not expecting all this, but due to the economic situation and everything like that, to me, I was really expecting it, and it is even better as per my own assessment. So the investors are really flying away from this country, Kenya, going to other countries, and as was confirmed recently by Samia Suluhu, the president of Tanzania. Yeah, she said that in the month of May they really received enormous investors, mostly of which were from Kenya because Kenya was like burning. So Kenya, this has been brought by so many factors because first can be the bad economic situation, the overtaxation of the government, alafu also the political instability in this country. So it is reported that the investment of the investors, their wealth has halved in the last like 1 year since this regime took over, like that is August last year. When you or if you had your wealth valued at 1 billion, there is a possibility that today it is 500 million. That can be that is so true, as you can all check in the different websites and all that. For example, let's take a rough example like Safaricom shares. Safaricom shares by August, July last year, they were trading for one share was equal to 37 Kenyan shillings. One share was equivalent to 37 Kenyan shillings. So as at now, as we speak, one share of Safaricom is going at 17 Kenyan shillings. That is a reduction of 20 shillings in less than 1 year. So that is really a worrying factor because the Safaricom share has actually not it has even passed the half. So for example, if you had 100 shares of Safaricom, 100 times 37, that is 3,700. As at now, when you still or if you still maintained your shares and all that thing with Safaricom, your shares as at now are valued at 1,700. So from 3,700 to 1,700, that is really a big loss, and that is why the investors are really moving away from this country, like going to other countries where they can invest, and yeah, and as it has been on a downward trajectory, and as you see the measures and all that is put by the government and the way the economy is taking shape, there is still no hope. There is always a thing in business or something like for the investors. The time that the shares are really dropped, and people are really selling. People are rushing to sell. You should be buying it, but you should only be buying it when you are optimistic enough that in the near future the prices will shoot or the economy will revive and everything will be okay. But as at now, even with the surveys and all that has been done of late and all these things, many people really believe that Kenya is heading to a wrong direction, to the wrong ditch, and all that. The measures that are taken by the government, we don't see any hope of economic recovery. So yeah, the investors are really okay. There is no enabling environment, there is no creativity, the political instability, the overtaxation, the very expensive labor, and the expensive land, inaccessibility of capital services, all that, it's really a big issue. So another thing that as you've been cleanly monitoring is the exchange rate. There was, I think, in the recent past weeks that the exchange rate really like shocked so many people because it shot with the amount that okay, no one really expected. So similarly, last year around July, August, one Kenyan shillings was exchanging. Okay, one US dollar was exchanging against Kenya shillings at 119 shillings. So one US dollar was equivalent to, it was fluctuating between 119 and 120. Yeah. And first backwards, when okay, the Jubilee government came and all that during the Kibaki regime and all that, 2017 2013, when they took over, the Kenyan shillings was exchanging, the Kenya US dollar was exchanging with the Kenyan shillings at around 98 to 100 shillings. So during a 10-year period, that Negro took it from okay, from 98 to 120, which is like a 22-20 increment. As at now, the Kenyan shillings is exchanging with the US dollar, where one US dollar is equivalent to between 145 to 147 Kenyan shillings. There was a day that it even went to 150. So in less than a year, or in 1 year time, the the Kenyan shillings has devalued with around 25 Kenyan shillings. And now we are still taking all these loans and all these things. It is really, really going to drain this economy. Then, as at now, doing bilateral businesses is so hard because if you want to export something, yeah, if you want to export something, for example, tea, you take the tea, take it out there, they'll need like few US dollars to buy your tea. But now, when they're importing, like even chocolate, you'll need more Kenyan shillings to convert to dollar so that you can buy the chocolate. So this brings a lot of trade imbalance. Yeah. So there is another thing, the oil deal that was made by the Gulf countries also is 527 something like billion that we are supposed to pay in the next few months time. Yeah. And this was to stabilize the Kenyan shillings against the dollar. So this one really backfired. And now, okay, there is really, really no hope that this economy is going to be well in any way because the directions and all these things, the exchange rate, the measures of the economy, like all that, for example, say, even the bank loan, the risk and all that, it's really expensive and so many people cannot afford it. So we are really going on. wrong direction.